It'll be 1 to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
We're the liberal media elite, of course. Joe the Plumber's not here. Nate Ryan, USA
Today. The plumber
Today.
was brought up by both parties eventually.
I believe the count was 20 versus 4. Nate Ryan, USA Today. This is the third race in 6 where qualifying has been rained out. And obviously,
it's not rained out yet.
Well, it looks like, sadly, it's going to be rained out. If it's rained out, you guys get choice of pit selection in addition to starting toward the front. How big an advantage is that for those ranked higher into points to be able to have that selection, especially the 48 team? Is there a huge advantage between picking first and picking 12th? And how big is it here at a track like this where the pit road is so tight?
Pit selection here is maybe it may be the most advantageous racetrack we go to have the first pit stall. It may be the most advantageous. So, qualifying is important. I will say though, this is one of those racetracks that if you watch the races, and I go back and watch most races, a lot of times people are benefited by qualifying poorly here because the pit sequences, you get 3 or 4 different pit sequences going on here because you get so many cautions at odd times. So it's really one of those places where when and I have a lot of experience in not qualifying well, I don't flip out about it because the way cautions fall here, it's so different than everywhere else, and how you can pit and what kind of tires you need and those kind of things that those sequences get so just mixed up during the race. You'll find a guy that's running 20th, next thing you know, he's leading the race. So, I don't know that it matters a lot here in being able to pass people, but in a lot of ways it doesn't matter a whole lot because you get so many different pit sequences going on.
Excuse me. We'll go Dave Rodman, Mike Embry, Kenny Bruce. Go.
Yeah, Dave Rodman, NASCAR.com. Jeff, you touched on this a little bit before. I apologize, but considering what's happened to you here before in the chase, does that affect your outlook and approach to this race in October of 2008, particularly coming off a victory? And considering where this racetrack is, not necessarily a win, but what would a good finish on Sunday here mean for you?
Well, this racetrack's meant a lot to me. It's to where it's one of the tracks that I grew up thinking was one of the biggest deals in the world. Grew up an hour from here and would come here and watch Cup races and come and watch the twin 250s. And so the history here is really important to me because I've witnessed some of it. Certainly not all of it, but I've witnessed some of it. So that makes it special. There's people in the stands that watch Ward and I grow up, as people, not just race car drivers, and I think that's real special. As far as what happened to us here in 2006, we did that, not the racetrack. We made a mistake. The racetrack didn't cause us to make that mistake. So I don't look at this racetrack really in the sense of, well, you owe me one, or I look at it really in the sense that well, this is to me it's a special place, and we've had a lot of success here, and we've had really bad runs here too. So I don't come here with preconceived notions that we're going to run well. I don't come here with preconceived notions we're going to run poorly. I just think we got to go practice and see what we've got and work from there. But this racetrack didn't cause us to lose the championship. We broke apart, and ultimately we're responsible for that.
Okay, we'll go Mike Embry, Kenny Bruce, Claire B. We will get to your questions, so be patient. Go ahead. Mike Embry right here with the, I'm not sure what kind of hat that is. Go ahead.
Mike Embry, NASCAR scene.
What kind of hat is that?
Missouri. It just fits.
What do they do?
Come on, it just fits. They got beat. Let me ask you one more thing about the age thing related to Mark Martin. With all due respect to Mark, and I know you have it, and we do too.
He is old.
Yeah, we do too. He hasn't won a race since 05, although he's remained competitive. Can he realistically have a shot at winning the championship next year, given nobody's even come close at his age in a long time? Can he really be competitive?
No question he'll be competitive. I would be this is a strange sport, and you never know what's going to happen, but I would be willing today, and he's going to shoot me for saying this, but I'd be willing to guarantee you that car will be in the chase next year. He will make that team better. He will I know that they're going to. Mark Martin's a special driver. You look at where that car is in points now. We never talk about this, but the car that Mark drives on a part-time basis, it's like 15th or 16th in car owner points. I'm sure that's wrong, but it's right there. Mark Martin is consistent. He's fast. He's smart. He is the kind of driver that's required to win a championship. And I don't think there's any question. There's no question in my mind he can win the championship next year. None whatsoever. I don't think that something swoops down from the sky and says you're 47, no longer for you. I don't think it works like that. I think it's individual. I think it boils down to physical, emotional, most of it being emotional, the dedication that you're willing to put into it. Well, you got to remember, if you're 48 years old, you've probably been doing this for 40 years. There's hardly any race car drivers that didn't start at this right now. I know that there's some exceptions to this, but most drivers started when they were 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. If you're 50 years old, man, you've been doing it for 40 years. And so bringing the intensity level every day, I think that's what becomes difficult. Willing to put the effort in, not just on the track on a Sunday, but on the track somewhere on a Tuesday when it's 100 degrees somewhere, putting that effort in, that's where it becomes harder, I think.
Okay, we'll go Kenny Bruce, Claire B., Marty Smith. Go.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR scene. Jeff, you've been around long enough to remember racing at Richmond, racing here, racing at Bristol, when there were 36-car fields. How different was the racing with fewer cars, and was the racing better or worse, or was there any difference?
It was more spread out at Wilkesboro. Wilkesboro is really, for some reason, the place that I really remember the smaller fields, and how much more things were spread out than they are today. 6, 7 more cars on a half-mile racetrack is a lot. It's a whole lot. And I also remember a lot of us loading our cars and trailers going home, not making races at Wilkesboro and Martinsville and those places. So it has changed because things are much more bunched up. There's more cars on the lead lap. There's more cars a lap down, and it's made it harder. It's made it more congested for sure.
Claire B., Marty Smith, Ryan.
Claire B. Langham, Satellite Radio. Can you talk a little bit more about your decision to come here last night? A lot of the drivers are late because of the rain and just kind of taking time. There's not much going on here. Can you talk us through that just a little bit? Is that the preparation for just getting here and getting your headset?
Well, both my children had friends spend the night. My mother was there. My wife's mother and her father were there. And between the four of them, they'll drink enough wine to kill a small animal. So the only way for me to get any sleep was to leave. So that was the brunt of my decision. That's why I made my decision, because it probably was loud in my house last night.
And how far are you?
Well, I bummed the helicopter last night, so it's 40 minutes for me. So wasn't exactly a hardship tour.